Let's build a static website in Google Cloud Platform. We'll be leveraging the Python framework called Pelican, Docker containers to build the website, and the Cloud Run capabilities to automate everything. Select Create a Project and give it a unique name. From the Cloud Console page, select Storage, Create New Bucket, name the bucket, select your desired region, select Standard Storage Class, select Fine-Grained Access Control. This is important, otherwise we cannot use this for a website. We do not need object versioning. And finally, click Create. Navigate to Cloud Source Repositories, either by searching or the drop-down on the left side of the screen. Now we will create our code repositories. We will ultimately have two repos, one for building our website and one for our actual content. We will start with our website builder. Once created, clone the repo locally. You may need to follow the steps provided if this is your first time using Google's code repository. Let's just create a README file, commit and push, just to make sure that everything is working properly. We will use Cloud Build to trigger automation each time we update our code repositories. We will need to enable this API. Once enabled, navigate to Cloud Build, select Create Trigger, type in a name, select the code repository as a source. All other default settings should be correct. I prefer to use a virtual environment. This will allow me to install the same packages that will be used in our Docker container without having to install them on my entire machine. Now add the requirements Markdown in Pelican and a requirements.txt file. Install using pip within our virtual environment. Create a new Docker file, define the latest Python base image, add requirements.txt, run the pip install command, execute pelican-quickstart, answer a title and author, read all the questions prompted, but you can probably use the default. This will now create a bootstrap set of files, add makefile to the Docker file, git add Docker file, requirements.txt, and makefile. We will then push this to our code repository. We will now create a cloudbuild.yaml file. We will build the Docker image. We will then push the Docker image, making this image available for other pipelines. On each commit to master, Cloud Build will trigger. We now have a working pipeline to build a Docker image capable of generating our Pelican website. Now we will create the code repository that will have the content of our website. So follow the same steps as earlier to create a new code repository, then clone it and go into that directory. From the first repositories folder, copy pelicanconf.py, copy publishconf.py, and either create or copy the content folder. Now we will create our first post. Create a new file ending with .md in the content folder. This is the markdown syntax. Add a title, a date, the name of the author, a category, a slug, and finally the content of your post. Now we will create a second trigger, just like the first one. This will be triggered every time we make a new post for our website. Now create a new file called cloudbuild.yaml. First, it will use the previous Docker image to generate our website. Then it will sync all the files to our storage bucket. Now we add all the files that we've created, commit, and push. If you open Cloud Build, you will see on the dashboard that our job is currently running. At the end, this will either succeed or fail. Opening our storage bucket, we will find the files of our website. While here, open permissions, and then add a new principal. We want to add all users and give them the read object permission. This will make our storage bucket accessible from the internet. On the bucket itself, select the three dots and then click Edit Website Configuration. We want to set the index.html. This way, the load balancer will send the traffic to the correct location. To create a load balancer, we will go to Network Services, then Load Balancing. We will need to enable the Compute API. Once enabled, open Load Balancing, select Create Load Balancer, select HTTPS Load Balancing, Start Configuration, use the default options, continue. Create a backend bucket, name the backend bucket, select the storage bucket that was made earlier, create. Leave host and path rules as defaults, give the front end a name, select the static IP option, name the static IP, click reserve, and finally, give the load balancer a name and click create. If you open the load balancer, you can get the public IP address, which is where our website is. This is the default theme from Pelican with our Hello World webpage. Create a new .md file within the content directory, give it a new title, a new date, a new slug, and in this case, let's use a new category to see how that looks on the website. Now run git add on the new file we just created, add a commit, a push, and now we can quickly see the build kick off, and at the end, we should have a newly updated website. Clicking refresh we see our new page, and we also see our new category at the top. Both have demo and vacation categories. I use the same Pelican framework for my personal website, but here you can see a different theme and also with more populated content. As far as cost, if you use HTTPS, it will cost you between $6 to $8 a month. If you do not use HTTPS, or you use a workaround to use compute instead of the premium option, it will only cost you a few dollars a month to host this simple website. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.